Chemical rockets have taken us to the moon, but they will never reach the stars. To survive a journey at 99% the speed of light, we must engineer a vessel that turns interstellar dust into a lethal radiation hazard. Today, we bridge the gap between theoretical warp drives and the brutal kinetic reality of antimatter propulsion. Imagine lighting the biggest fire ever built by humans. That is basically what a rocket really is at heart. We burn liquid hydrogen or liquid methane, and the superhot gas shoots out the back at huge speed. This kicks the rocket straight up into the open sky. It worked great for the Apollo moon mission long ago, but the distant stars are a totally different game, and the cold, hard math is brutal for us all. Voyager 1 is our fastest probe ever sent into deep space. It moves at 17 kilometers per second. That sounds super fast, right? But to reach Proxima Centauri, our closest star neighbor at 4.2 light-years away, Voyager would still need over 70,000 long years to actually arrive there. That is more than 2,000 human generations born and gone while waiting. The rocket equation traps us in a cruel math loop. To go faster, you need more fuel. More fuel means more mass. More mass needs even more fuel to push it forward at all. Chemical fire just runs out of room. We need a totally new kind of engine that taps deep into physics itself. Welcome to the new era of starflight. Now meet the most powerful fuel allowed anywhere by all of physics, antimatter. When just 1 gram of antimatter touches 1 gram of normal matter, both completely vanish in a bright flash. Pure raw energy is born from that small event. That tiny reaction releases energy equal to dozens of huge nuclear bombs going off all at once. It is roughly 1,000 times stronger than nuclear fission alone. About 70% of that energy can become useful thrust. So how do you store stuff that explodes on contact with anything? You never let it touch any walls. Magnetic confinement traps use very strong magnetic fields to hold positrons and antiprotons, floating in a hard vacuum chamber. They hover in mid-air, frozen by invisible force. The engine releases tiny puffs into a reaction chamber. Annihilation creates gamma rays and superhot plasma. A magnetic nozzle steers this plasma backward as a focused thrust beam. CERN makes only 10 nanograms each year today, but 2025 and 2026 studies hint at factories that could mass-produce antimatter up in space orbit. Space looks completely empty out there. It really is not at all empty in reality. Tiny dust grains float between the stars, almost invisible to our eyes. At normal slow speeds, they are basically nothing at all to worry about for any ship. But push your ship to 20% of light speed, and physics suddenly turns very mean and very deadly fast on you. A single dust grain weighing just 1 milligram now carries the energy of 1 full ton of high explosive. One tiny grain, boom. At higher speeds, it gets even worse very fast. Even single hydrogen atoms become deadly bullets that slowly erode the hull like a sandblaster on soft metal over time. The main fix is the classic Whipple shield design. It has many thin layers spaced apart with empty gaps in between them. The first thin layer shatters the dust into hot plasma instantly. The next layers spread that energy out wide, so nothing punches through the inner hull behind it. Magnetic deflectors push charged particles away. Even starlight from ahead blue shifts into hard X-rays, so crew rides inside thick lead walls. So what does this real Starship even look like inside and out? Forget the flat saucers from old science fiction movies you have seen. A real relativistic ship looks like a long, sharp needle pointing forward into deep space. The front tip is small and pointed very sharp on purpose. This shrinks the area hit by dust and gas down to a tiny narrow circle. Less surface area means much less impact damage along the very long way out there. Behind the needle nose sits the thick main shield wall. Then comes the crew zone with all the living space inside it. Then come the long fuel tanks holding the precious antimatter safely apart from the people. The engine bell hangs far back at the tail, kept safely away from the people inside the hull. The whole long trip takes many decades, maybe even a full century to actually finish properly. No human crew can fix every single problem all alone, so tiny AI-driven repair drones live deep inside the walls. They crawl, scan, weld, and patch the ship endlessly without ever resting once. Now we must finally bend space itself completely. Here is the truly wild idea now. Instead of flying through normal space, you move space itself around your ship like a riding wave. This is the famous Alcubierre warp drive idea from real physics. You squeeze space tightly in front of the bubble and stretch space out behind it. Your ship sits inside a calm, safe bubble, going nowhere locally, while the bubble itself slides smoothly through the cosmos at any chosen speed. There is no friction at all. There is no relativity speed limit at all anymore. The original old version needed negative mass, weird stuff that may not even exist anywhere in reality at all. But in 2024 and 2025, real physicists like Bobrick, Martire, and Lentz published brand new warp models using only positive energy density alone. The price tag is still huge. You still need energy on the scale of a whole planet to make this thing actually run properly. A fusion antimatter hybrid reactor might one day reach that crazy level. First antimatter, then real warp drives, then the whole bright galaxy quietly opens up for us humans at last. So there you have it. The road from a roaring chemical rocket to a real warp bubble is long, but every single step is being built right now in labs all over the world. Antimatter traps are getting bigger every year. Whipple shields are getting smarter and stronger. Warp drive math is finally turning positive. The first humans to ever ride a true relativistic engine are probably alive on Earth today, just quietly waiting for the engineering to catch up with the wild dream. Maybe one of them is even you watching this video right now. If this journey through real physics blew your mind even a little bit, smash that like button right now and subscribe for more deep dives into the future of space travel. Drop a comment below telling me which engine you would board first, the antimatter rocket or the warp bubble ship. Share this with that one friend who still thinks chemical rockets are the final answer. Thanks for traveling with me today across deep space. Keep looking up at the night stars above you. The whole bright galaxy is still waiting patiently for us all.